please kindly comment if. All right, thank you very much, everyone, and good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. I can see a number of us are already joining in. Thank you so much for joining in into this conversation today, and it's going to be a live session, um, and we're going to be starting in a few minutes. Hello and welcome. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. I can see your name here. Sorry, I can't really pronounce it very well. Apologies. Good evening, and thank you so much for coming. We're just going to give a few seconds, and then we'll start this session of the part two of the Amazon launchpad training. And it's really good to see everyone. We'll be starting in a few minutes. I hope we all came with some questions, and I hope that we would have a really good time understanding the opportunity and really showing you how we can go about it. So, in just a few minutes, we'll be starting. I am. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, I Damilola. Okay, I Damilola. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining in. Um, and there's just going to be a number of us, you know, joining in as much as possible. So thank you thank you for joining in. Okay, all right, thank you. So I just have a few more people joining, and then we'll get to start today's session. Today's session would be very brief because I'm hoping that we can take more questions as they get to as we get to evolve. And I'll also be doing a short introduction to what our organization does and how we get to support stakeholders across this sector, especially in the if you are an agri, definitely love to work with you as much as possible. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll actually just start. And once again, welcome. Thank you very much, Damilola, for joining in. Thank you so much, everyone, as well. Again, the chat box is very active, and I will definitely be taking a Q&A after this. So please, just as much as possible, gather your questions. Then definitely you need to ask some of these questions. Now, in our last session yesterday, I spoke about the global opportunity available on Amazon, and especially as regarding towards export. Now, what we all know about export is it can be very misleading. Export is literally you just trading several across borders. That's what export is. It's just like, for instance, myself sending a package to you who lives in Ibadan, but this time around, Ibadan is in a different country and it has different laws and it has different certifications, it has different things. And one of the major deterrents why Nigerians are not really doing as much export as we ought to is because there is not so much awareness. And the second deterrent is that everybody's thinking that before I need to do export, I need to start doing container load. I need to start doing this. And there are a number of things over the years that we have seen that is just that lets us know that that's not just true. That is not true at all. And so um, we'll just do a brief recap of yesterday's of what we covered yesterday. We started by opening our eyes to the global opportunity sitting in front of Nigerian businesses. There are over 2.4 billion visits on Amazon every month. Why some of the and some of these people are going there to search for food items, for different things that they want to buy, organic products, natural source products. And Nigeria sits at a critical junction. Our competitors on those platforms are in Vietnam, in Thailand, in Malaysia, and some of them are literally small businesses, like majority of the people that we have in Nigeria. But the challenge is that they've built an infrastructure, they've built a system that allows them, even the smallest merchants, to export. And that's what we're trying to build here at PEDA. And we also talked about how e-commerce, right, has changed the export game forever. Now you don't necessarily need to fill a container before you are actually doing export. You don't necessarily have to do um sesame before you can do export. You don't necessarily have to do cashew or cocoa before you can do export. So e-commerce has really changed the game. I'm sure some of you are very familiar with Temu, with Alibaba, with AliExpress. these people that are selling on those platforms, if you check them well, they are small manufacturers, and that's about 70% of everybody that literally sells on those platforms, right? This is just really an indicator as to how e-commerce has changed over the years. Now, uh, we've shown you how you no longer need containers, you no longer need middlemen, you don't need brokers, you don't need somebody collecting your goods and not giving you your money back, all of those different things. We established that you can start small, but you can list directly on Amazon, and you can sell to buyers in the US, in the UK, in Canada, in Europe, having full control over your pricing, your packaging, and your profits. And then we also walked through examples of real Nigerian products that are already winning. So I know that we mentioned yesterday that the fastest growing food category on Amazon is superfoods, and I'm not talking about your tomatoes. I'm not talking about your okra. I'm not talking about all those things. I'm talking about superfoods is a category of foods that are actually sought after for their health benefits, or for their perceived health benefits. For instance, moringa and its byproducts are in high demand, especially if you can get them organically. Hibiscus, that is the zobo, in terms of zobo tea, in terms of zobo uh, byproducts, are very much in demand. We're talking about things like turmeric, ginger powder, and a whole lot of those things are in demand. We also spoke about the fact that wellness products, of course, which comes from an agricultural background, are also in high demand. For instance, shea butter is in demand, in high demand. Coconut oils are in demand. We also spoke about some specialty products that are in demand, like dried pepper powder, dried fruit snacks that we have from Nigeria here, fonio, a lot of spices and herbs powder that we can produce in Nigeria here, are also in high demand. And finally, we broke down um, five key ingredients, right? That is very, 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 very important for you to succeed on Amazon. And those five key ingredients are put in place to not just only ensure that people are able to sell to that market, but also to help protect the local community. So again, your product has to be very, very very compliant. We also spoke about how to build attractive and searchable listings that would get buyers' attention, right? We spoke about different things in terms of how to product well, how to package no, that all those types of things, what we talked about yesterday. And if you're not part of our group, and then just check the link and watch that video. It's very important. It will help you we spoke about list successfully, and have Amazon fulfill your product. So this will entail that you would go to the platform. This would mean that you would go to the You literally go to the platform and fulfillment by Amazon, and it will literally help you. Um, it will literally help you um, successfully transition. All right, welcome, Sola. Welcome, welcome to this I also spoke about we also spoke about a number of things yesterday, which I'm just trying to clear. We also spoke about marketing and the launch plan. So there are a number of things to consider depending on your product, and that is how you can successfully launch. So marketing involves things like running ads on the Amazon platform, targeting your right audience, doing SEO as well, using keywords, and sometimes even getting micro influencers, in the US to help you drive real sales. All right. So these are the pillars that we spoke about. They are foundation for every successful export brand. And I know that you might be thinking, now that I understand the opportunities and I know the pillar that I need to succeed, how can I put all of this together? How do I know what product is in demand? And and that's what we're going to kind of show you us today. Today, you would discover how PEDA, that's the Produce Export Development Alliance, helps Nigerian producers, exporters, go from being a local business to, to becoming, a business that actually does business in several countries. We are going to literally show you um, how our program works, because this Amazon Launchpad is a program where we get to help people to set up their storefront, where we get to help you handle your compliance and your registration, where we get to help you optimize your listing as much as possible, as much as you can, where we get to help you um, manage logistics, which is very critical for any of this to actually work. We're going to definitely show you some of those things. Another thing that we're going to discover here is how to. Now, I know some of people might be asking the question of, oh, I don't have a facility yet where I can successfully um, deploy, come and get my certification for. And I'll show you how you can use a facility that we have in place to be able to process your product and get it certified under our so I welcome you into today's session, and I now that you understand, at least you have a fair knowledge of how to sell on Amazon. We would definitely take you through and it's good for you to have a system, a process in being able to access this opportunity. And I want to help our viewers here to understand that even though Amazon would literally has created this wonderful platform, even though Amazon has made this available, success does not completely depend on Amazon. It's something that we've seen over and over again, is that people don't kind of understand their market, nor do they understand their role, the role that they're going to play in some of this process. So they just get to ship, package any product, do it anyhow, and then put it on the plane. It gets to the warehouse, and they don't know that they're supposed to optimize their storefront. They don't know that they're supposed to continually check. They don't know they're supposed to continually run ads. They don't know they're continually supposed to check latest trends, consumer trends. They don't know they're supposed to do all of those different things. And but I'll just take it down in a clear system so that it's easy for us to understand. The first step, right? The first step is actually setting up and onboarding, on the platform. This is the very thing that we also help you to do. We successfully help you get set up on the platform. It will literally work by opening a fully compliant Amazon Seller Central account. Now, the way it works is that for you to open a storefront on Amazon, you need to be able to verify a number of documents. You need to be able to have your identity document in place, your business registration document in place. You have to have your NAPC certificates. Yes, you need to have the certificate of origin of your product. You need to have the NAFTA, your NAFDAC certificates if your product is a processed product. You need to have some form of product category eligibility, right? You need to really create your brand profile, get everything set up. It's in this process that most businesses get stuck because Amazon onboarding can be very, very tricky, especially when it comes to Nigerian accounts, right? Even when you want to set up a Nigerian account, you need to have a representative in the US, right? You need to have a representative office in the US that would actually guarantee the opening of your storefront. And this is how it will work very, very successfully, right? And with Peda, we can help you structure your application in a way that it would literally will walk you through and help you set up all the different things you need to do. We'll help you, we'll provide you with templates, right, and walkthroughs so that you avoid common mistakes. We'll guide you through the necessary documents, for it to pass very quickly. And this is the first step that you need to sell anything. And this is what you will need to get done first, setting up your account. Again, it can be tricky, especially when you are setting up a Nigerian based account, and this is why many people that has really attempted to do this get stuck, or this is why one of the reasons why many Nigerian business owners have not started um, exploring this particular um, platform, because it can be tricky, especially setting up a storefront, right? But let me move on from that. The step two that you need to do is compliance document and your products listed very well. All right. So this is one of the most critical and very, very overlooked part of the Amazon export process: compliance and labeling. Look, every food, every agricultural, every wellness, every consumable product that is sold on Amazon must meet US and international standard, right? And this would include things like your FDA food facility registration. That is, the facility that you are using to manufacture your food, is it certified by FDA, right? FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. Is it certified by FDA? Also, all right, you must have a US based agent who can verify your food compliance. Compliance documents, and which would include things like what your net weight is, the ingredients that you used in the manufacturing of this product. It has to be listed in English. Nutritional facts, right? It has to be there. And I advise, although it's not all products that need this, but I advise that all products, right? I would advise you that all products that you get to list as this nutritional fact panel. It has to be the country of origin well listed. You also have to have storage instructions, right? Another thing that we miss here is the allergy warnings. You have to be able to clearly put on your labeling if your product contains anything that is has the potential to be allergic, right? Well, because people react differently to different products. So for instance, if you are if you are doing something within the nuts family, right? Let's say you are doing tiger nuts, or let's say you are doing um bambara nuts, or let's say you're doing soya also. You have to clearly label that these things were done by, I mean, was done with this has a potential for people that are allergic to certain products or certain food items. It has to be clearly stated there, because if it's not clearly stated there, your product will be rejected, right? And you don't want to get into some form of trouble after sneaking and doing everything. This one detail now puts all your efforts in jeopardy, right? Because if your product does not meet standards, Amazon will remove your listing. They will suspend your account. Like they will even block your product from shipment at their warehouse. And at PIDA, what we do is that we'll take this off your shoulder. We'll review your product composition. We'll advise you on the required certification, either it's sanitary certificates, whether if you have a product with an organic claim, would help you be able to get that certification in so that you can fully claim organic. We will help you redesign your package and label to meet US and Amazon standards, and we will introduce you um, to FDA and FSVP agents wherever needed. Because what we need to do is we need to protect your brand. Protecting your brand is protecting the Nigerian name. All right, and this would help us build trust in the international market as a collective, and will ensure that you can sell at scale without compromising on any compliance issues, right? And this is another this is part of the steps, and of course we are able to support you along the way. The third step is actually listing and creating keywords, SEO imagery. Once your account and your compliance are ready, it will be time for your Amazon your listing to be created. And this, that Amazon is not just an e-commerce platform, right? Amazon is also a search engine. It's a search driven platform. And if you don't show up where customers search, you it's like as if you don't exist. And that's why we're built we're built keywords title that will match the type of customers that you're searching for. Um, will help you put your the features of your product in in key bullet points, right? That for example, if your product contains um organic products, or let's say they are naturally grown or non-GMO or of Nigerian origin or etc, will properly help you position it so that the benefits of your product is clearly listed in a way that will be able to attract buyers. Then, where I mean, what will definitely help you do is that will help you create high quality lifestyle focused pictures. Now, why I say this is that some people, if you're trying to sell, let's say Zobo, packaged Zobo, or let's say ginger spice, some people just take pictures of their ginger spice alone, just beneath a white background, and call it a day and just list like that. No, we the thing that sells is high quality lifestyle focused pictures that show how people are using your product. Pictures, not just like some boring pack shots, right? But pictures showing your product being used, where how it is being used, how it is being enjoyed, all those different things will help you put it in place. Um, if you also want your product to rank higher, on search pages, like, so for instance, you want your product to rank You need to be able to put in smart keywords, right? You need to be able to optimize your SEO. You need to be able to make it appeal of your products. That is what we want to do. For we get to be able to help you with good copies, good strategies that will help you create your store. Right, your product definitely deserves to be seen, and that's what we're going to make sure happens. We're going to ensure that as much fulfillment and setup, right? So it's enough now that you have now listed and you have set up your store well and it's optimized, your SEO is great. All right. The next step is taking your product into your customers and right delivering fulfillment. And one of the biggest advantage of selling on Amazon, I'm sure that all of us already know this already, is the fulfillment and by Amazon system. Especially that serves their prime customers, right? And let me just give you a breakdown for people that do not know how it works. I'll just show you how it works. Number one is that you send your product in bulk to the Amazon warehouse, right, in the US, right? Of course, you're going to be on your store. You're going to be designated a place where your product is going to be shipped to, the destination warehouse where your products, after having met all requirements, right? You'll be given a store to send your products to, right? And especially when people are starting to make orders for your products, right? Amazon will store them and pick them and pack the orders as they come in, right? Amazon will deliver directly to your customers anywhere in the US, right? Amazon will then, if there are complaints, of course, if there are complaints, there are returns, Amazon will handle the returns. It will handle the customer service, and we advise you use FBA. In fact, it might be a very stringent approach, but it is the most fulfilling for an entrepreneur that wants to really sell on Amazon, because what it does is that it allows you focus on monitoring your store progress, on producing your product. Rather, it will take off the customer service off you. It take off the fulfillment. When you use FBA, all right, your product will become eligible to prime shipping customers, like I mentioned earlier, and you'll be able to reach more than 200 million, like prime, yeah, 200 million, yes, 200 million prime members. Your product will likely be delivered same day or next day, depending where on where or who is making that purchase, right? If your product has need for special needs, like special like cold storage, let's say you are selling maybe fragile goods like say frozen yam that needs some form of refrigerated um concern, we at Peda has partnered with cold logistics service providers and third party fulfillment centers in the US that can help you host and hold your product and ensure that they are successfully picked up and delivered, right? At Peda will guide you through how to successfully register for FBA. We're helping to help you manage your inventory shipping, that is shipping from Lagos or Abuja, all right, to your destination warehouse in the US. We're helping to for instance, people that have special needs, connect them with third party logistics service providers that can help to successfully ship or fulfill their orders if they have special needs, right? And then we also provide some form of advisory and support and all the way. So when you are shipping, let's say that you are shipping dried ginger or dried hibiscus tea or whatever, right? We'll make sure that your fulfillment process is ready, it is reliable, and it is very compliant, right? And the fifth step, right, is launching campaigns, right? Launching campaigns, your ads, your reviews, all these things are very, very important. All right. Once everything is set up and it is time to launch, um, listing the product is not enough. We will need to build traction, initial traction around your product. And this will be you can obviously do this in several ways. You can promote it on your either Instagram page, on your website, targeting audience in the US. You can also promote on Amazon, right? Uh, Peda would help you set up, sponsored product ads, right, inside Amazon, to drive the first wave of traffic, would help you run low cost influential marketing campaigns, right, will help you create and launch promotionals, will help you, will advise you on this how to discount and bundle your offers so that you can encourage early purchases, right? At the same time, too, we'll be able to help you, do build your five, I mean, an initial product review, right? Between 5 to 10 product review that will be able to help you build credibility and improve that your search ranking, right? So this is how you can actually get through the initial momentum with Peda, right? We're helping small businesses become very visible fast, right? And with us, you'll not be guessing or hoping. You'll be executing, you know, um, an existing formula, right? And so I want to be able to just run you into a summary, and then I'll take some questions, and then just to further understand. The first, there are several steps that you need to do, especially when you're ready to really go on this platform, which is called Amazon. Number one is that you need to set up your Amazon seller account and do a proper onboarding. You need to have all your compliance documents in place, FDA, FSB, your labeling will be intact, your compliance documents will be inside, all your registration documents will be intact. The third step is that you have to optimize your the keyword around your store, and also with premium imagery as well, because you are competing with other merchants on Amazon as well. And then you also need to set up your Amazon fulfillment by Amazon, right? You need to set that up so that your product will be delivered successfully. And then you also need to help run ads. Every successful Amazon business, right, or brands have gone through all of these 5 stages, right? And so will you. So you don't have to figure it out alone. You just have to follow an established system, right, with the right team beside you every step of the way, right? Now that you have seen how it works, I'll also share some insights again as to other services that we provide. So let's say that you are a bit skeptical about the initial investment that to take you to launch. By the way, this is a very low cost way of becoming an exporter, right? It's unlike filling a container, right? But let's just say that you're just trying to test if what works. You don't want to go through the lengthy process of having to set up in these 5 stages, right? We have some support packages as well, right? We have the list and test and launch, which would help you. Will list and test your product in our store, right? So that you'll be able to test it in a live environment, see people's response to your product, right? And we'll help you. We'll write we'll design your listing, all right. We'll help you create images with keywords. We'll optimize for customer search, and you can list on our store for a test, all right. We also would able, like I mentioned, all we're able to help you create your your store from start to finish in terms of labeling requirements, design, product name, etc. Right, and we also model out profitability. We help you model your profitability. We help you do a profit and loss analysis, right? That will look into your products, your packaging, your logistics cost, plus Amazon fees, and advise you on what the real price point it is for that your particular product category against competitors in on Amazon, right? We help you run ads, like I mentioned. We're able to help you with your certification and documentation. We're also able to provide support services, other support services in terms of, let's say, for instance, you don't have your own factory, um, um, you know, covered under the FDA certified certification, right? We have an FDA certified facility, right? And you can come, prepare, process, seal, and package your product in our facility, and it will be covered under the FDA. Even though but the in your address, it will carry everything. That's what would make it covered under the FDA certification. Also, we're able to um, help you with product certification listing. So you can rent we can rent access, to approved product certifications, right, for you, for export. This will also help you reduce the barrier of entry, especially for people that are trying to just test the waters. We are also able to help you do your package with design, that is from start to finish. We're able to help you put in a shipment uh, plan creation. We're able to also help you create a valid USD account, right? So that you can manage your payout successfully. And these are one of a number of things that we're able to help you do in terms of staying relevant and being able to do all of that. And at this point in time, I'll just stop and I'll take some questions from everyone. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome. So, does anybody have any questions for us so far? So far as I've been speaking to you, I'm sure there are some questions. Can we have some questions in the comment section? You can drop your comments for me in the section, and so one of the frequently asked questions is the fact that so sometimes we get to speak with people, and they would always say stuff like they have a number of products that they want to do. Somebody will have oil, palm oil, they want to do ginger, they want to do shea butter, they want to do Gary. What we would definitely what we advise is that people start with one product, especially a superfood product. So depending on where you are and how you are able to navigate this, we would advise that you narrow down on the number of products you want to start with. Start with one first, right? Especially one that is currently in demand. It's good that you do not overwhelm yourself in this process, and be able to measure your success early and go fast. That is one. Number two question is, what is the most important thing in terms of after setup? Now, the most important things after setup is consistency, right? Which is going to, which is what I also want to say in regards to choosing your product. The major challenge for agri businesses and food owners in Nigeria is access to a continuous supply of raw materials, right? The supply chain for your product has to be very simple. It has to be close to the source as possible. So if you want to do ginger, ginger as much as possible, you should have a collective of farmers that you work with, in that you work with in, in any of these communities, especially in Kaduna, as much as possible, get closer to the source and ensure that you can actually control, you can actually control the what's it called, the way that you access your raw materials. If not, you'll be having demand, on the platform, but you will not be able to fill that demand, and that can really cost you in terms of, merchant rating. Your rating might drop significantly because people are ordering your product, but now it is out of stock, right? So as much as possible, you need to be able to control your supply chain. As in fact, very very advised, do not do a product that you cannot wrestle the supply chain away, because this is one thing that really kills Nigerian businesses. Even in Nigeria, yeah, if you are doing a particular product, sometimes today the price is up, tomorrow the price is down, it's not available, it stays. As much as possible, you need to factor that into your plan. Yet, Mrs. Idowu, please not to worry. This is a recorded session, so you can actually come back and listen to it over again from how we started. I hope that it will be very educative and informative for you. Another thing that I want to also say is in regarding to is regard to what's it called, um the question around, I have a bank account in the US already. Do I need to create that? No. If you already have a US bank account, there is no need for you to uh, create another bank account. It's going to really suffice as well. Another thing one of the frequently asked questions is, can I bring my machine to your facility to process? What I said earlier is that we have under our service, we are able to help people. Um, we are able to help people do. Um, we're able to help people do process under a facility and hence have their FDA covering on it. And that's what we also be planning to do. But in terms of machine, it depends on the machine that you are bringing in. It cannot just be any machines, because again we also operate under strict regulation. But I'm sure that for whatever you want to process, you can actually process them in our facility and you'll be very covered. Um, I think that that's about it. I don't know if there are any questions for me, and you can obviously ask the questions. The chat room will be open, right? And then you can definitely drop some of your questions before we close, right? Now that you understand, at least you have an understanding of how to really set up, what the steps are for you to set up, and how you can meet Amazon standards and you can start to sell globally. I would like to introduce you to your next move, which is to join the pedal community. Right, the pedal community is not another quote training program. It's more like a membership pass into a structured community. We have a community of agro exporters, of e-commerce specialists, of brand builders in the agricultural space that are focused on um, international trade and international exports, right? And what you get by joining the community is that you have 6 months of experts, expert mentoring and coaching. You have access to our private, community access. There's priority support. You get a discount from all of these services that I mentioned. You will enjoy exclusive discount on our core services. Like, as a member, you would have, discount on the Amazon storefront setup. You have discount on, compliance support. You have discounts on how on ad management, and shipping fees. Normally these services will be available to the public at full price. So even if you don't join the community, right, it's still available to you, but they would be at full price. Meanwhile, as a part of the pedal community, you receive this, at a significant discount, right? It will save you thousands of nairas, while accessing premium delivery, right? Another benefit of being part of the community is that you have first time access to new opportunities, right? There are a number of new opportunities, there are a number of trade missions that we are organizing, right? Number of exhibitions, some B2B events, etc., right? That you can participate in, right? Joining the community does not mean that the services are free, but what it does is that it gets you privileged access, priority treatment, strategic mentorship, and a powerful discount as much as possible. So it is all the export capabilities in one corner, right? While ensuring that you don't pay full price for it. All right. So how can you join the pedal community? To join the pedal community is just 50,000 naira for 6 months, right? In this will give you access to half a year mentorship, full support, priority access, to our services at discounted rates, a full community connection. You'll be able to attend our weekly expert insights. We obviously share insights, growth opportunity, research, market intelligence. We let you know what is um, what is gaining traction in the international market, right? And you can even recover your mentorship fee by just you can recover your membership fee by accessing the services at discounted rates, right? So if you're ready to stop guessing, if you're ready to stop wasting money on trial and error, and you want to start moving in the right direction with the right structure, with the right team and the right plan, then I'd like you to type "I am ready" in the WhatsApp group, and our team will immediately send you the payment instructions, the onboarding guide, and welcome you into the community. And if you also want to schedule a consultation session, right, you would you also be able to plug into it. You'll be able to schedule a consultation session, um, and all of that. So this is what we want. This is what we have for you today. If you again, if you want are ready to stop guessing and stop wasting money on trial and error, and you want to move with the right team, you want to move with the right structure, the right community, I'd like you to type "I am ready" on the WhatsApp group right now, and then our team would immediately get in touch with you. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on this session. It's truly been a wonderful time, and we'll definitely be seeing you in the comment section. Thank you.